Hi guys, I'm gonna just go over how to assemble the Garrett AT Gold. So I got the manual here and it seems pretty simple so far as I'm reading it. This is the hardware. Seems like it's just a nut with some washers that you're gonna want to use for the connecting the search coil to the I guess the body of the metal detector. What you're gonna want to do is I'm gonna just call this the wand or the stem, whichever one. This fits inside here like that. The part up here that has like this quick connect, this goes on the top. This connects to the main body of the metal detector, where the mechanism is. These two washers here, they fit. You can see, let me see if I can try to get a close up. You can see there's three little stems inside of the part that connects to the search coil, and on the washer there's also those holes perfectly aligned for those three stems. You're gonna want to put those on there, and then once they're aligned, you push them in until it's flush. I'm doing this with one hand, but basically you want to push this in all the way. Making sure that the holes are still aligned, which they are. There you go. So you do that with one side, and then with the other washer, do the same process. After you've put those in, then it's not going to be flush with the on the side there, so it's going to stick out a bit. But once you put them in completely, then you're going to push this inside to connect it to the coil. And then that's where this plastic bolt, retaining nut and bolt come in. Once this is connected in there, this goes through here, and then once it goes all the way through, then the retaining nut holds it, and that's what's going to be holding these two together. So let me go ahead and connect it, put the washers back on properly, and then connect it to the coil using the bolt here, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like, and in the manual they call this whole wand-like figure the lower stem. And this is what it looks like when the washers are placed inside of the lower stem. So as you can see, it's not completely flush with the plastic, so the washers stick out just a little bit, but that's to give it a good fit into the search coil. So okay, so once it's connected, you should be able to see right through it, just like that. You want to be careful because as you're sliding in the lower stem, the washers tend to catch up on the underside of this for the search coil, where it catches on the underside over here, and so the rubber washer starts to pull back. So if that happens, you just want to jig this stool back and forth, like push one end in, make sure that the rubber gasket goes with it, and then push it this way, and then you jig it the other way, so that way this side goes in as well evenly, and this way the washers don't get pulled backwards. You'll be able to tell if the washers go in nice and flush if you don't see any hint of them through the holes here. So after you got that aligned, you just get this bolt, put it right through. Let's try to get this aligned better. So once you get the lower stem aligned, you just push this bolt through halfway, not all the way because it's going to hit against the wire here. So push it halfway, get the retaining nut, thread it through a bit, push the rest in, and then connect it the rest of the way. In the manual, it says to just get a hand tight, so that should be good. One more for good luck. Good. Alright, so straight out of the box, the lower stem has its own quick connect down here. So you're going to want to push this in. So you're going to want to push this in and pull this out. There we go. And then extend this just to give it enough room, so this way you can have the top hole free. So after you've done that, you can straighten this out and then connect it. Wherever, it doesn't matter, as long as this top one or stem is free. Then you're gonna get the machine. Well, before you do that, in the manual it says to loosen this up. Take this off and just slightly tighten it up. So right there's fine. And then go ahead and put this. So just take off, I guess this is the other connect, this is to connect this, the main body of the metal detector, where the mechanism is, to the lower stem. You can see screws here, threads here, and threads on the inside of this. So just push that over on this, there's no need to loosen it. Put it onto the upper stem, slide that in. Slide it in, and then try to line it up with the hose the best as you can. And from there, alright, so push those in. It's much easier, this thing is standing up. That way you use the body weight of the mechanism as you're holding this in one hand and stabilizing it, the mechanism with your other hand. So you push these in as this whole machine is upright, vertical, and then the weight of the mechanism itself pushes the pins into the body. So then once you have that lined up like this inside, start pushing it in, get it into the upper hole, the uppermost hole, and then from there you just tighten this down, and just want to get a hand tight. There's washers inside of these little connects. You just want to get that hand tight, so that's fine. And then yeah, so you got that. Next thing is to connect this. Is to connect the search coil wire up to the mechanism. And what it says is, in the manual, is to in the manual it says just to wrap it around the lower and upper stem of the body. Tightly around this. You probably first want to adjust it to the height that you're comfortable with. After you adjust to the height by loosening this and then extending it however way you want, then retightening it. Alright guys, so there you go. So the stems is connected to the coil. So I adjusted it to the perfect height for my arm to be resting in the armrest and the coil to be right above the ground. I wrapped the cord around the stem pretty snugly, and then I attached the wire from the coil into the connector, and the fit for the connector is pretty tight, and it has a washer in there as well, so I like that. I believe that's what's keeping everything here waterproof, is the type of connection that they use. And yeah, so the machine itself works. Oh, and also, if you're looking down at the AT Pro on the left side, that's the connector. It's a 4-pin connector, and that's the connector for the surge coil. And on the other side, on the right side, if you're looking down at the mechanism, it's a 2-pin connector, and that 2-pin connector is for your headphones. So after that, once you have it connected, it already comes with the batteries already installed, and you can go ahead, and it says on the box itself, hold 1 second for power. I'm assuming that's to both turn it on and to turn it off. So go ahead and turn that on, and if I wanted to turn it off, hold it for 1 second and it turns off. So there you go. It's a really simple assembly. Probably took me a total of maybe 5 minutes. I mean, it was really easy. And so now I guess not even the hard part. I mean, because that's basically the whole point, the selling point of these AT Pros, is that they're specialized for the types of uses that you would want to use them, and they can really find just about anything, but they're very easy to use. So I guess I'll find out when I use it later today. Well, that's if I get the opportunity to. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It was set up easy, quickly. Let's look into it. Alright guys.